I mean, Niemann has become a good player, a very good player, but I mean, thinking that our levels were going to be close was not realistic. But I generally hope that he can move forward and be a very good player, because I think he's doing a lot of things right. But I mean, I don't think we learned anything particularly new about our respective playing strengths this weekend.
Clock ticking down, I think that the storyline we thought we were going to get with Hans winning his black is not going to be the case.
Yeah, the advantage was never that big, to be clear. He did have an extra exchange. It was a sacrifice. But perhaps he can fight his way back in this one. Rook C1 hits that knight. Oh, there's this back rank checkmate problem. So I don't even know where you go here.
It's not even that the bishop isn't good. It's that the king is getting checkmated.
Oh.
He is threatening bishop takes d3. What a fun move, a creative, resourceful trick by Hans Niemann. Because if you take c7, bishop takes d3, you not only free the mate, but you might queen the b pawn. Okay, Magnus sees it, of course, and now he's headed in. Bishop c5 check will be all she wrote. There will be checkmate on e8 or not, because Hans Niemann resigns.
Hans really is barely getting his moves off. 0.4 seconds when he made that last move, and the white queen is in, but unfortunately for Hans, that the black queen is centralized. I mean, look at this, Danny. E3 happens, c3 will be loose, and maybe queen f4, queen f2.
Oh, it's happening. It's happening. The queen comes in, the e-pawn will run. There is no perpetual. Ooh, Magnus wants more. He's going to take pawns with check and make sure that he works it with no diggity here. He might even get the queens off the board before he advances e2. No, now queen f5 check was easier, but two queens will get the job done.
And in the current position, with the white queening, we have another position where Magnus is down in exchange. He's going to do his best that he can to survive it. But Danny, as we look at this position with limited pawns remaining, that gives black better chances to hold.
Yeah, and again, if he holds, then he takes a lot more time off the clock, and nothing has changed in terms of the total match score. I think that Hans is going to get this one and bring it back to 5 games.
Just takes a long time, because in order to win this game, you might need to get your king around or sacrifice your rook for the knight. So if the knight goes back to f3, wow, the fancy trades here. The queen on f6 looks menacing. If a knight can get to h6, Danny, that's a good old-fashioned checkmate. But watch out for the back rank as well. Oh, wow, he blocks the knight, but he is really playing with fire.
Both sides looking for potential mates. I'm looking at e5 and swing that rook over to the h-file, but Magnus attacks the rook first. Okay, Hans is all in on the attack. I love it whether it works or not. Let's go.
Knight takes h7, does that work?
Knight takes h7 at least wins a pawn, it would seem. No, that was fun.
That was fun, but that's not fun for Hans Niemann. If you're trading queens in this position, your rook's under attack, e4 is loose. The a5, bishop a6 at any moment could be devastating, and it's played.
I think right now it's devastating. Good call out. Here comes bishop a6. Oh, bishop a6 anyways, just threatening mate. That is a problem. Hans kind of...
And he doesn't have any double pawns. Black on the other end, double isolated pawns. That bishop on c8 stuck at home. The a-pawn is trying to keep it at bay. And yeah, Hans is going to try to get his pieces out, but Danny, it just looks like it's much more fun to have this from the white side.
I agree. I love that move, rook a3. That is full board awareness. That rook is doing work on both sides of the board. If it swings over, things could get dirty over there. Is he going to take it with the rook?
I think he is.
Oh, he does it. Okay, yeah. He might go for a win here and just really put on a show for the fans.
I think knight h5, the bishop is trapped on g7, so that rook, it lifted, it was swift out of the gate, and well, this is actually going to be perhaps a loss for Hans right out of the gate, because the evaluation board is -3 already for black.
Yeah, and d3's on the agenda. D3 looks, okay. I think d3 was the best move, but Magnus plays queen f6. He wants bishop d6, yeah. A little more easy chess here.
Oh.
But now d3 comes. There's tactics everywhere. Bishop f4 check is next, by the way. Non-traditional chess media than anyone we've done in maybe ever. I mean, frankly, in a very long time. And when you get asked the question, like, who's the favorite, who's going to win, you try to find new ways to say it for it to sound politically correct and not just like bias. But the obvious answer is that Magnus Carlsen is the favorite in every chess match that he plays.
Yeah, it's not disrespectful to say that. I think with all the tension and all the media and the fireworks between these two, it seems like that. But objectively speaking, when you have the #1 rated player playing someone that he outrates by about 100 points in classical chess, and even more in blitz chess, at least in terms of over-the-board ratings, then it's clear that Magnus is the heavy favorite. That's not a disrespectful statement. And I think that between these two, of course, there is a ton of bad blood. I don't think that's ever going to go away. I think that these two, you know, if they play many more matches, we'll see much more of their talking. But I think for Magnus, he is letting his moves do the talking. He is playing a great match, and he's about to win another game as multiple rooks are under attack.
Yep.
And I think that Hans,
guarded, by the way.
Yeah, his Hans is getting cooked here.
We've avoided just saying the chess spoke for itself many times.
I felt like he was actually playing quite well, but he does blunder a lot. And with with little time, he was not playing well, at least in that. And I was kind of I was mostly up a little bit on time, and I was, you know, playing those scrambles better than he was and being a bit more practical. But I didn't feel like he was playing that badly in general.